everyone, Concord was a terrible idea. Like, they were trying to do a live service in a series with a bunch of other live services with better character designs. Who signed off on those character designs? Like, it's like you were trying to make cool Western space style, but you forgot Star Wars has better alien designs. You forgot even, like, you could have made them look like aliens from Time to Dance on the Grave of a live service game that... Well, there's a saying from, what was his name, Yahtzee? Let's all laugh at an industry that never learns anything, tee-hee-hee. Where can I find the audio books like Troll Slayer? You can find them on YouTube. Just type in, Warhammer Fantasy Troll Slayer audiobook, and you'll find one. That's right, I need to get back to finishing Demon Slayer. I've been so focused with work that I forgot. Anyway, your thoughts on Concord, Fable?
Concord was a mess. It should have never been created. Mostly because it didn't have no love. It had no soul in it. It felt like a generic cash grab at the live action, like the live service genre. And it failed miserably. The only problem I feel bad is for the people that lost their jobs when kind of making games, but sad part is if it's the studio's fault for even thinking that it was okay.
Yeah. On another note, I do want to make a space western comic with a bunch of ideas, but here's the thing. You need to make the characters look good or interesting in some way. You don't need to make them look humanoid as hell, but you need to make them look different but still cool looking. Like, give Mass Effect, for example. All of the aliens look quite different. Sure, some of them are bipedal, but you can tell them apart very easily just by giving them one once-over. Like, you can tell things about them, you can tell by just looking at them, they look very interesting. Like, the Turians, the Quarians, the Krogan, the Vorcha. I still remember a lot about that series, and I still want to play a Mass Effect 3, TTRPG, or Mass Effect TTRPG at some point. But that's neither here nor there. Concord had terrible designs, its gameplay looked okay at best, but those robots made me want to gag in terms of designs. Who designed those? Anyway, ready, Fable? Fable's not alive. Fable is dead! All hail the new Fable! Fable is not dead. We are going to live forever! Anyway, I don't know what Fable's doing. Anyway, into it we go.
It was sponsored by NordVPN. The year is 2024, and Sony is about to release the Kraken, a project they'd had in the works for almost a decade, and with a reported budget...
Do you guys know how many live service they had on? I think they had like 20 or 10 live service games that they were having being made. There was no way all of these were even going to make a cent more than they thought they were. Having that many live service games in a series in a place where there's already overflowing with live service games is just asking for trouble.
Up to $400 million. By far their most expensive
don't
game
see anything
yet.
besides
Nothing
money.
could go wrong.
Like, I have a friend that told me, no, they're at the top, they have to at least be smart about it. You don't have to be smart to reach the top. You just need to know people. And make those people happy. Quite literally. Nepotism is one of the biggest problems in industries nowadays.
The year is 2016. Overwatch has just come out, and it's making the rounds everywhere.
Overwatch
is very popular. It's the first AAA.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, I keep stopping, but Overwatch was so big.
TF2 almost a decade ago, and it's good.
Then it kind of just
amazing gameplay and map design, well-designed characters with a ton of personality,
and then Blizzard just started making a lot of mistakes
around
with
the
the whole
same
fact
time.
that instead of giving the fans what they wanted, like the hero mode stuff, instead they're like, yeah, we're gonna get rid of everything that you guys wanted and just stick to what we think you guys want. It's okay. You guys are a little bit toolbox.
Yeah.
Ex-Bungie developers coalesced
Which is like,
to form what would become
no, we're not
Firewalk
children.
Studios.
Please actually talk
Initial
to us and
meetings
please
are held on
respect
their
our
first
opinions,
project.
like we do
Guys seen
yours.
that Overwatch thing?
Nope.
Yeah.
Instead, they decided to do the
Let's
opposite.
do that.
Yeah.
And they get to work. Fast forward to 2021. Now at this point in time, Sony's gaming department is headed by a man named Jim Ryan. He and the boys at Sony look around. The gaming landscape had changed.
Not even like a
Gone were
day
the
or two
days
before
when
it
you
was supposed to be released. They're like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Sorry. Not sorry.
Overwatch still had a lot of potential, but it was squandered at every chance.
Yeah, it was.
Made a game and sold it. Fortnite was now here. And if you weren't selling stolen dance moves and Peter Griffin skins through recurrent battle passes,
you don't need to do that to make a
they look at their
successful
own
game.
games. Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man. Some great stuff.
Yeah.
One problem. Not one of them was live service, and therefore wasn't printing buckets of cash for Jim and the boys. So Ryan makes a decision. PlayStation is gonna kick the doors down, burst into this market head first. But first, time to go shopping. And Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, starts looking for a few developers they could swipe up to help make that happen. It's around this time that Sony gets word of Firewalk, and they like what they hear. A studio made up of industry vets with a ton of talent. Ex-Battlefield devs, ex-Destiny devs, and ex-Halo devs.
It's like, what could go
Studio's
wrong?
creative lead was even the creative director on Destiny 2. Their mission statement? To craft incredible multiplayer experiences that bring people together and inspire unforgettable and unexpected shared moments. Wow. They'd even started work on their first game, a hero shooter set in an original sci-fi universe.
Original.
Sounds promising. So Sony is interested. They ask for a sneak peek of the game, and what they see amazes them. What Firewalk is making is so innovative, so impressive. They want in immediately. They'd seen the success of Overwatch and Valorant. This hero shooter genre is an absolute cash cow, and now it was Sony's turn. April 2021, and a deal is struck. Some cash on the table from Sony, and Firewalk's hero shooter would come out as a first-party exclusive for the PlayStation 5 and PC. Nice. Sony now had a taste of that sweet Bungie talent, and they wanted more. So in January 2022,
why'd you make it like that?
they buy Bungie itself.
Yeah, they
A
did.
studio currently maintaining just one popular IP.
Yeah.
$3.6 billion. What a steal. Sony was now set to release a ton of...
By the way, this is around the time that they're trying to release Marathon. Guess how that's looking? I hated the designs of Marathon. I hated the looks of it. And it was a survival extraction shooter. Something everyone just rolled their eyes at. Except for, like, super Bungie fans.
Here's the problem. Whenever we have anything new come out and it becomes successful, everyone else is going to follow. When Tears of the Kingdom came out, everyone started making open world games. When PUBG became famous, everyone started doing battle royales. When Fortnite took over, everyone started doing even more battle royales. Live service battle royales. There's no creativity right now. Everyone's just following trends, and the more you follow trends, the less they're gonna stick out.
All I want to do, Fable, is make cool games like that hack and slash idea, and the idea of, well, I can't say too much. I shouldn't say too much because I don't want people taking my ideas.
Service games.
I'm
More
stealing
than 10
all your
before
ideas.
March
You want to do a hack and
2026,
slash?
they say.
Oh my god.
Oh, a chicken nugget
In
fighting
early
another chicken
2023,
nugget.
Sony
Oh
checks
my
up on
God.
Concord,
It's
and
gonna be called Nugget
this
Royale.
thing is in rough shape.
Meow.
That's a
At this
beautiful
point,
idea. I'm
it's
stealing that
apparently
one.
still
Then.
in alpha, and it's not looking great. Basic things like player onboarding and monetization haven't even been figured out yet. Worst
Wow.
bit, this is about 5 years into active development. Now, Firewalk consists of around 150 staff. This is in Bellevue, Washington, which means exorbitant rent
Give me money.
and
Oh.
sizable wages.
Give me money.
5 years of this adds up, and by 2023,
I just don't understand how... I'm guessing the higher-ups just kind of mothballed things. Because that's the only explanation I have. Kind of like how Ubisoft does things. Where they're like, no, we want you to do this instead. And then someone comes back, no, go back to the original thing. And then it goes, ugh. Bureaucracy destroyed it. It killed it.
Apparent $200 million had already gone into the game. Also,
Good
the
Lord.
game is supposed to be launching within the next 18 months. But it's in such a rough state, they'd probably need to use a ton of outsourcing for that to happen. This can be very expensive on short notice. It's okay. Internally, Sony is calling this game the future of PlayStation.
I can't believe they thought that.
Star Wars. And the head of PlayStation Studios is so confident, he decides to go all in. And so he buys Firewalk for an estimated $100 million. Another steal. Now inside Firewalk Studios, and things are interesting. See, there's apparently a lead designer here who's decided she identifies as a professor. And she's demanding everyone at the studio call her that. Don't play ball, and you're potentially out of a job.
I still can't believe someone was so... Like, this person did not have a PhD, by the way, Fable.
Oh, dear.
And they want to be called... I just don't understand the ego of some of these people. Maybe it's someone that has just had his ego destroyed at times in his life. He's just can't understand the arrogance of some people, like to want to be called professor without even having a PhD or reason to be called it.
I wish to be called Dr. Fableson.
Dr. Professor Fableson.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Don't forget the professor.
A degree to back that up.
Yeah.
She's reportedly not very popular.
I wonder why.
There's also apparently an overall vibe of, quote, toxic positivity here. Bad ideas are not shot down, as that would be, like, not cool. As a result, the decisions here...
That's as bad as, you know...
They'd gotten a ton of money in
negativity.
Sony. They could do anything. You know those cinematic Overwatch shorts? Let's do those, but every single week of the year at huge expense to ourselves. Sounds good. And they blow a ton of that money on extremely expensive, motion-captured CGI cinematics. Because if this online-only multiplayer shooter needed anything, it was a storyline. Onto the characters. A few years ago, a movie had come out called Guardians of the Galaxy. A few people at Firewalk had seen it. Nice. Let's just do that. And the artists get to work.
They didn't even try to make it their own.
After a few years, they'd drawn up some decent concept art for characters. But midway through development, a change of heart. Now, we're making a hero shooter here, and the market is becoming increasingly saturated.
Yep.
We have to do something different, stick out from the crowd. Let's make the characters look absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not such a good idea. No.
The only guess I can think is because Sony, for some reason nowadays, really likes games where they're photorealistic people. I don't understand it. They went through this phase and they keep going through this phase where they need everyone to look as real as possible. I don't understand.
Don't disagree. Haven't you read the sign? And so, the brilliant ideas keep rolling. Cool concept, but let's give her some Walmart power armor and make her absolutely enormous.
Why didn't
that
you go with the
walking
first
trash
one?
can needs a pronoun. Make her 73 years old. This one should be humongous. Him. He needs some American football pads and a Turtle Beach headset.
So weird.
Horrible color coordination across the board.
Good
and
Lord.
remember, we're designing aliens here. We could get creative.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just take a man and paint him green.
Pretty much.
Perfect.
You could have made him a giant lizard man.
Now
like
that the
that's all
designs
people
were
make.
top notch, let's slap a $40 price tag
My
on
dog
in a
just came
market
in
where
here.
almost all of our better, more established competitors are free to play.
Yeah.
And we're done. In May 2023, it's the big PlayStation showcase, and they reveal the game for the first time. And we see an empty spaceship with a jacket in a locker. Right. Cool. Was this a single-player campaign? A co-op looter-shooter? Multiplayer FPS? Who knows? But behind the scenes, Sony are still going all in. See, Blur Studios, the people behind Love, Death and Robots, are making a new anthology series on Amazon. Each episode is based on a different game.
So I don't know anything about Love, Death and Robots. I just want to put that out there. But this was interesting. I know Warhammer got one of these. I haven't watched a lot of them. But for some reason, Yeah, they gave one to Concord. I know
turns
that.
out, Sony is so
Love, Death,
confident
and
in
Robots
their
is
new
an
IP
interesting series
that,
because it's an
that they've
anthology of different writers and different stories all made into a series. Think of like different ones with different art styles and different artists taking over. Depending on the writer and the story, it can be of one thing. It could be like a story that makes you think, "Holy crap, humanity sucks," and then another one where basically human. There was literally a story where apparently humanity became so evolved, not evolved, but babies and children stopped being born because humanity learned to become immortal in a really stupid way.
Mm.
And there was a detective that found out this woman had given birth, and he hasn't seen a kid in like 150 years or something. And he did everything in his possession to help the kid because
Yeah.
humanity had already become less than human at that point. It's really
Right.
it's different. It's just an anthology series. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, and some of them are just very pervy. I'll say that.
That sounds about
to
right with
get
the
one of these
anthology.
episodes to be on Concord.
Yeah. There's one that was based off a
There's
light
also now
light story about an eldritch thing. That was kind of cool though, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I will say that controller kind of looks cool, but yeah,
Both
it was not
controllers.
gonna buy it for like
Fast
100.
forward to May 2024, and at PlayStation's State of Play stream, we see more. This time,
I
an
can't
actual
believe they
gameplay
thought this
reveal
was gonna be
trailer,
a good idea.
and the gameplay is actually revealed.
Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
Turns out, it's just a 5v5 hero shooter with Guardians of the Galaxy on top.
Yeah.
This is alongside a cinematic
Boring,
reveal
cringe, and
where
shame.
we finally see the characters that they'd put so much money and effort into. The reaction is not great.
Captain Hot
They tell
Sauce,
us they'd gone in on
Guardians
the
of the
storytelling. However, the personality
God.
of characters amounts to this guy just like really liking
Give me
hot
one-
sauce. Marvel writing
Second.
is also
I have no idea what they were thinking with this. I guess when you're in an echo chamber, you just can't hear anything or smell anything besides your own farts.
so quite prevalent.
Right behind me.
But they assure us the lore is deep, rich, will want to get stuck in.
I
They'd
doubt
even
it.
spent a ton of
I'm
money
not
on
reading a
bringing out
book
new
here.
high-quality narrative cutscenes every week. But the thing is, no one actually cares about this because it's an online-only multiplayer game. And wait, does that say pre-order? $40? In a market where virtually every competitor is free to play? Don't worry, lads. This thing's worth it. There's also a pre-launch beta in July, and everyone's invited.
Everyone's leaving. Yeah.
But first,
Very few people
the
play
internet
it besides
is scary.
streamers and
Filled with
reviewers.
holes. Navigation can be treacherous. Here,
Ah,
take this. See, your internet service provider can see everything you do. Depending on where you live, they can also sell all of that data to advertisers. And you didn't just join a public Wi-Fi, did you? See over there? That friendly looking old lady now has your search history, birth certificate, social security number, and several DNA samples.
DNA
Not only that,
samples.
links containing malware exist all over the internet. You just clicked one? Fantastic. Now your laptop can make a lovely chopping board. But with NordVPN, security. See, NordVPN encrypts your internet connection at the source, meaning your data runs through a secure tunnel, shielding it from hackers. And NordVPN is the fastest VPN out there. Just click a country, and you're there. Nord also offers advanced threat protection, meaning you're safe from malware, phishing, scams, and other online threats. Also, 24/7 customer support, one account for up to 10 devices,
Oh,
and
nice.
a 30-day money-back guarantee. And NordVPN has a fat discount and 4 months extra for free via this link. Just go to nordvpn.com/bigboss or use this easy-to-remember code.
All right,
It's
done with
finally
the ad.
June, and doors open. They've even paid a bunch of streamers and YouTubers
Yeah, they
to be
paid
there.
people to play this.
But there's a problem. No one's turning up.
Yep.
Everyone is now able to
They're saying-
download the beta and play.
Like, there were so many people just not giving a crap about the beta. I don't know anyone who played
the
it.
game at no expense at all. But at this point, On PC, that's 2,388 people. For reference, Overwatch 2 had 1.5 million, Valorant around 3 million.
It was dead
These
in the
are
water.
both closed betas. The comments are over
Dead
the
in the
moon.
wall.
Dead in the water.
Despite all of that,
Dead in the wall.
reviews are coming in, and they're actually pretty good. But at Sony, issues. In February 2022, they'd said they were releasing more than 10 live service games
It
before
was 10.
2026. But
Yeah.
by 2024, that number had dropped to 6. Concord was one of those 6. It needed to do well. The Last of Us 2 Online cancelled.
I still can't believe they canceled that one and kept this one. People were so much more interested in that than this.
Multiplayer projects, MIA. Deviation Games completely canned before they could even get a game out the door.
Wow.
Bungie, which Sony had blown almost $4 billion on, is also doing absolutely terrible, hitting almost 50.
Yeah, they Marathon wasn't doing well, and it's still not doing well. It's not great looking, and they're probably not going to be able to even release it in time.
50% of their financial projections, and actually losing money. With no more Destiny sequels or updates lined up, Sony needed another live service shooter, and they desperately needed a win. And judging by Concord's beta numbers, yeah, not good. They'd also apparently chugged through another $200 million, so that's around $400 million in development costs here. Right, what are we doing here, boys? Change the business model? Make the game free to play like every other hero shooter? No.
Probably.
The genre may be completely past its prime,
Yeah.
massively oversaturated,
Yep.
and overwhelmingly free to play.
Yep.
But just look at these characters. A masterclass of design, bursting with personality.
I can't.
Fellas, there's no way people are passing this up. The $40 stays.
I still can't believe they thought these character designs was good. Fable here could make better alien character designs with some simple newspaper.
You guys should pay me for that.
Oh my god.
They gear up
$20
for the
and I'll
global
do a
launch in
character.
August.
Right now,
just
I'm so
2 months
serial.
away. It's
I
now
need it 'cause
August
I need to buy a new
23rd,
monitor.
and after 8 years and a reported $400 million, the game is out the door. It runs well, isn't buggy, the animations are decent, and the gameplay is actually good. Basically Destiny 2 if it was a hero shooter. There's an okay amount of content in here too. 16 characters, 12 maps, and 6 modes.
The characters
3
just
maps,
don't look
modes,
good.
and characters would also be released down the line, alongside the extremely expensive weekly cutscenes that everyone just couldn't wait for. But then people boot up the menu, and what they see. Jesus.
Come on, let's go!
Mushroom Man, She-Hulk, the Michelin Man, a walking,
Michelin Man.
talking he-him trash can, Walmart laser tag boy, and a very old woman.
No one
In
likes
fact,
his design.
the only character not universally hated is the walking trash can.
I like this one.
Besides the characters, the game offers pretty much nothing new to the genre. The maps are bland, and subpar graphics.
That's
in fact.
exactly it.
This is
It
compared
offers
to a
nothing compared to
15-year-old
everyone
PS3
else.
game. The game started development just after Overwatch, and as a result, Concord just kind of feels like half a decade old. Also, like playing as a certain character? Well, unlucky, because in certain game modes, if you win a round as them, you can't play them again for the whole
I
game.
don't remember this.
There's
What?
also a whole storyline and lore that they'd invested a massive amount of effort and money into. There's even this lore dump star map with loads of planets. But no one cares because the characters suck and it's a multiplayer game with no campaign.
Yeah, they're not here to read a book.
Finally, it's like the 5th best 5v5 shooter on the market, and
Ooh.
it's $40 more than everything else. You also need a PSN subscription to play, and it's not even
Yep.
free on PS Plus. But the
Yep.
thing is, besides all of that, there's a major problem here. There's only 697 people playing the game. Almost 3,000 played the beta, meaning more than half of them had just ditched. The 7-year-old
I bet it was
Friday
even
the
worse on
13th is also
PlayStation.
getting 10 times the players. This is a game without dedicated servers. Concord is an online-only, competitive multiplayer FPS. That means it relies heavily on a big, healthy player base. And turns out, Sony had
Yep.
decided to stick a PSN account requirement on, blocking the game in 180 countries.
God
Nice
damn
one.
it, Sony.
Most other big budget AAA games also go on a media blitz before release. But Concord, not so much. Revealing the game just a couple of months before launch, a few paid streams here, some character videos there, and they called it a day. And by launch, somehow, no one had even heard of the game.
They just memory hold it because now they're like, I saw one of the character things once. I think it was called for Star Child or whatever the hell he was called, and I just didn't care.
That did saw that it cost $40 and presumably went to play literally any other game in the genre for a 100% discount. While the game got zero attention pre-launch, after launch, it's everywhere. The memes are plentiful. The characters are so hated.
Why would they give her a Thugnificent's haircut?
People online start making their own, far better renditions. This designer even spent...
I do like them actually going through and changing the design to show them how they could have done it better.
An hour
That's
breaking down
at
how
least
bad
a bit
they are.
more
Before
productive.
and after.
Okay.
It felt
They're
impossible
desperate
to try to
enough to
salvage
ask
these
the
designs.
fandom to draw that
Also,
safe for
the
work
reviews are in.
Yeah.
80% recommended on OpenCritic, 1.7 out of
The
10
fandom
user
said no.
reviews on Metacritic.
No.
Eurogamer calls it an
No.
arena shooter by ChatGPT.
Not depressing too, but funny.
Yeah.
After a few days, it was clear. The game was underperforming. In fact, an article comes out claiming the game sold a grand total of around 25,000 copies. That's about $1 million.
Wow.
A whopping 0.25% return. Nice. The devs go ahead and take down the LGBT and political user tags from the Steam page, but this does little to aid the situation.
There was
Things
nothing that
are
could save
going
this game.
abysmally.
There's absolutely
Firewalk
nothing.
isn't done just yet. Turns out, people were complaining about the game online, so they boot up Twitter and start typing. The game is a labor of love. Criticize it, and you're a weird, talentless freak.
Oh yeah, one of them actually said that. Good job, idiot. When you're making a game, just be polite to, like, act as you would to the internet as you would to a person just walking by, with them just giving their random opinions. Be nice. Just say little stuff. Don't say a lot. Just try to be kind and be courteous.
This doesn't go down well
Never
either.
be
With
rude
the
as
horrific
frick.
player count, alongside the barrage of memes online,
He's
it was
super
obvious
heckin'
the
rodeo
game
and everything.
had to go free to play. There was no other option.
It
But
had
then, on the 3rd of September, Firewalk comes out with a statement.
Okay.
Gents, it's been fantastic. But despite the support and the passionate community that has grown around
of
the game,
about like
we're
600
pulling
people.
the plug. The game is going offline in 3 days' time, while we explore options to bring it back.
More options.
They also offer refunds to every single person that bought the game,
Yeah.
regardless of playtime. It's not just digital copies either. Sony is actually refunding
Oh my
every
God.
physical copy too. And now
They're gonna make
retailers aren't
something
even letting
stupid.
people buy the game.
They wouldn't let me check out, even though they had this on the shelves and on the floor.
It's probably gonna be around for a year. No,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan, it just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
Oh my god.
In mid-September, Concord's game director steps down, while some of the 150 odd developers at Firewalk try pitching Sony on other ideas. Some think they'll be used as a support studio, others fear a wave
Probably.
of layoffs. Maybe
Probably.
even the whole studio being canned. Also, Concord's Amazon episode is staying in, and is due to air this December.
I never watched it. I wonder what it was and how bad it was.
But regardless, on the 6th of September, we bid farewell. 12 days after launch,
It
and the
just
servers
Here's the thing, like I've always said, the worst reaction you can get from people isn't even scorn or hatred. It isn't even anger. It's meh. Getting people to go meh to your piece of entertainment in anything will just completely get rid of it. If they're memory holding, if they can't even remember that your game is coming out, then you're pretty much done. You've created something boring that no one wants to be interested in,
go down worldwide.
which is the worst possible
8
ending.
years, an alleged $400 million.
Unless they kind of
Gone
get into that
in the
point with
blink
certain people, I'll be honest.
Mm.
Like,
Yep, they shut down.
I'm getting
Yeah.
tired of being mad. I'm just being like, you know what? Meh.
I can
I'm just gonna
understand
start
that.
becoming indifferent because I'm just tired.
Anyway, if you guys like what we're doing here, please do consider, well, I can't speak today. Consider following, consider checking out our other stuff. Like and subscribe if you want more. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. And take care of yourselves.